You're listening to KSG podcast. This is a short, crisp, concise, exam-oriented, edited editorial for civil services aspirants. In this podcast, we are going to talk about introducing INS Mormugao. Source for the content is Sushant Kulkarni's article for the Indian Express. The second of the Project 15B stealth guided missile destroyers built by Mazagon Dock Shipbuilders Limited, that is MDSL, INS Mormugao, was commissioned into the Indian Navy. The ship, named after a key port in Goa, was commissioned a day before the Goa Liberation Day celebrations. Now, talking about Project 15B, over the last decade, the Indian Navy has commissioned three guided missile destroyers of the Kolkata class: INS Kolkata, INS Kochi, and INS Chennai, under the project codenamed 15A. These ships were a step ahead of their precursor, Delhi class of ships: INS Delhi, INS Mysore, and INS Mumbai. All these ships were built by MDSL, one of the country's most important defense PSUs. A ship class describes a group of vessels of similar tonnage, usage, capabilities, and weaponry. The contract for four guided missile destroyers, more advanced than the Kolkata class, was signed in January 2011. This was Project 15B, and the lead ship, INS Vishakhapatnam, was commissioned into the Navy in November 2021. Designed by the Warship Design Bureau, Indian Navy's in-house warship design body, and built by MDSL in Mumbai, the four ships of Project 15B were to be named after four major cities around the country: Vishakhapatnam, Mormugao, Imphal, and Surat. A ship class is identified by its lead ship, in this case INS Vishakhapatnam. Now, talking about the construction, the keel of Mormugao was laid in June 2015 and the ship was launched in September 2016 by then Defence Minister late Manohar Parrikar. The Vishakhapatnam class has largely maintained the hull form, propulsion machinery, many platform equipment, and major weapons and sensors from the Kolkata class to benefit from series production, but it incorporates advanced stealth features and a higher degree of automation. The sleeker hull design and the radar transparent deck fittings make the vessels difficult to detect. Y12705, that is INS Mormugao now, completed basin trials on the 15th of December 2021 and undertook her first sea sortie on 19th of December 2021 when Goa celebrated 60 years of liberation from Portuguese rule. The ship has around 75% of indigenous content. Now, let's talk about the specifications and weaponry. INS Mormugao and the other three ships in the class are 163 meters long and 17.4 meters wide, with a displacement of 7,300 tons. For comparison, the recently commissioned first indigenous aircraft carrier, INS Vikrant, is 262 meters in length and 62 meters in width and displaces around 43,000 tons when fully loaded. INS Mormugao and other ships of the class are operated by a crew of 350, including 50 officers and 250 sailors. Accommodation and working areas have superior ergonomics and habitability compared with its predecessor classes. The Vishakhapatnam class destroyers have multiple fire zones, battle damage control systems, and distributional power systems for improved survivability and reliability in extreme operational and conflict scenarios. They have a total atmospheric control system, that is TACS, that offers protection to the crew from chemical, biological, and nuclear threats, as well as a state of the art combat management system that can evaluate threats using analytical tools and create a tactical picture that includes available resources on board. The warships have a secure network for data from its sensors and weapon systems. The ship's firepower consists of vertically launched Barak 8 surface to air missiles and BrahMos surface to surface cruise missiles for long range engagement offshore and sea based targets. The forward bow deck has a 127mm main gun and four AK-630 30mm guns for close point defense capability. The destroyer will also be armed with indigenously developed 533mm torpedo launchers and RBU 6000 anti-submarine rocket launchers. It can operate two multi-role helicopters, Sea King or HAL Dhruv. The ship also has railless helicopter traversing and hangar facility. The combined gas and gas configuration integrates four gas turbines. The propulsion system allows the ships to reach a maximum speed of 13 knots and a maximum range of 4,000 nautical miles. Now, let's talk about the strategic significance of this. Technically, destroyers are a category of warships that have high speed, maneuverability, and longer endurance to be part of the escort for larger vessels in a fleet or a carrier battle group, also known as a carrier strike group. Modern destroyers are swift, sleek, and difficult to detect and primarily protect the fleets and carrier battle groups from short range surface, air, and subsurface attacks. Guided missile destroyers are capable of anti aircraft and anti submarine warfare. Apart from anti anti surface operations because of their speed, maneuverability, and strike capability. Guided missile destroyers are a key asset in various types of naval operations, mainly offensive. The Vishakhapatnam class incorporates users' feedback on the Kolkata class besides several new features. The state of art stealth feature ensures it has the radar signature of a very small ship, and a very high indigenous component gives it a strategic edge. According to officials, the Vishakhapatnam class is one of the most advanced ships in the Indian Navy, which can operate as an independent offense platform even without being part of a larger formation. With its modern sensors and communication facilities, the Vishakhapatnam class is a key asset in the modern network centering warfare. That's it for this podcast. Thank you so much for listening. To join KSG in the courses and to crack the ICE exam, visit ksgina.com. You can also get a PDF of this podcast on ksgina.com. Thanks for listening and do subscribe to our channel.